It's Luke here for SimBoxx. Again, we're down at the People's Gym with the man himself, Kieran Farrell, Mr. 24/7.
Yes.
How's things, Kieran?
24/7, mate, as per.
Yeah, so we've just completed the inaugural Haywood World Darts Championship. You know, you of course won the darts title on the Matchroom bubble. Take us through, obviously, when you won the title, and then also your idea behind setting this up tonight.
Yes, well, I mean, I just stayed there, so I heard about the competition and thought, I'm getting myself in, and I actually seen the trophy and I thought, what's going on with me, that? Anyway, like I said, I'm a big believer of hard work pays off and stuff like that, and I thought about it and I made it happen, mate. I've become the world champion, bubble champion, you know what I mean, or whatever it is. Took the trophy home, and then the idea was to, like, yeah, just a bit of a, like, look, it's been a shit year, and I just thought a bit of make a few people smile, and we're going to donate 100 quid to charity, so yeah.
Fantastic. So, switching back over to boxing, like you say, it's been a bit of an up and down year. You know, back in March when you had the show in Bolton, which was one of the last shows to be on before COVID shut everything down. I bet at that moment in time, you know, you was on a high. Ed Harrison, of course, picked up a win on the card.
You know
and a lot of your prospects won on the card.
Didn't feel
like we're here now.
Didn't feel like it was going to be all year. You know what I mean? Like obviously we heard about the Chinese flu and stuff like that, and I thought it's not going to last a few months. It'd be like we're back up and running by September. You know what I mean? And as it was, Luke. September got put back to October, then November, then December, and then, like, to be honest, like, it's not really the smaller boxing scene without the TV cards and TV money. You can't really commence yet, you know what I mean? So look, I mean, we're looking at 50% audiences for the new year, so maybe we can get things going again, and that's what our plans are, to get going.
Yeah, so as we did move into, you know, boxing becoming behind closed doors in the bubble, in fight camps and stuff like that, you did have a number of boxers out on different cards. We'll start with Amy Timlin. She drew in the Commonwealth title fight. I know we spoke about it previously, but just to catch up as we look over the year, so we'll start with Amy Timlin.
We had Ed Harrison, he won Bill Ali on the BT Sport card, and then a couple of weeks later it was Amy Timlin fighting for the Commonwealth title, and that's the fight what I actually put in for in December 2019. The fight, we had it there. Caldwell took it to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn was liking it, and he said, "Look, it's going to be two girls who want to have a fight for this title." They entertained. You had the aggressor versus the boxer. Amy being the boxer, and Callie being the aggressor. Good fair draw. When I look back, it's a fair draw. I was a bit pissed off on the night. I wanted to. I crave success. I crave them titles. I want my fighters to win, and she drew, and it was fair and square. So look, Amy Timlin knows she's gonna go back to the fight in the rematch in the new year. We're waiting for a date. It should be February, March. Caldwell's told me February, March, so we're just waiting. And look, yeah, she's got that opportunity again, and then she's lucky to get that second opportunity. You don't always get a second opportunity, but she's got a second opportunity. She's a likeable girl. She's marketable, and she can win that title and put her name right up in the mix with, like, your Rachel Balls and your Shannon Courtney's.
Absolutely. You know, another fight you mentioned there, Ed Harrison, as you say, he picked up an upset win. He's been on the Frank Warren cards, he's been on the MTK cards, you know, he's been very busy. Just a quick comment on Ed Harrison and how he's done this year.
Like, Ed's not a journeyman, he's a guy who comes to fight, and he always comes to win. He's boxing the BT Sport cards, boxing Sky Sports, even competed in the World Haywood Darts Championship tonight. You know?
Co-host of Broom Biscuits as well.
Yes, they also but Ed's just getting as busy as me, mate, you know what I mean? He's taking over as well. We're all taking over, mate. Anyone in the circle is taking over the sport of boxing.
Superb. And then obviously we had Ben Ridings. Unfortunately, he did pick up a loss against Jess Smith, but you know, what a learning experience that was at such short notice.
What a learning experience, and I don't want to use excuses. He had COVID 10 days before. The last 10 days of camp is meant to probably the most important. And we took the fight, but look, as a fighter, you're just not going to knock the opportunity to fight. We looked at it for just like Ben Ryan's is a strong guy who can hold his own with Callum Smith and stuff like that. So, like, we went in there thinking, look, Ben will be too strong for him. As it was, Jez's boxing skills, he boxed out his skin, you know what I mean? And his experience was probably too much for Ben. But look, Ben's got a fight February the 6th in Spain, and we're going to move on, get another win under his belt, and we're going to build himself up, and when the opportunity comes next time, Ben Ryan will be ready to go.
So just moving away from your stable for a second, of course, this past weekend we had Anthony Joshua defend his unified heavyweight world titles, knocking out Pulev in 9 rounds. Firstly, your thoughts on that fight, and of course, your thoughts on a potential Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury fight, hopefully at some point in 2021.
Well, I watched the Pulev fight, and I fell asleep in the 6th. Then I woke up in the 9th round. I actually seen him knock him down, and I had my finger on the back of the telly ready to press the button. And yeah, he knocked him out and I like switched off. That's my time to go to bed then. But I saw it sort of went as I thought it went. I actually said probably mid to late rounds. Felt like Joshua was gonna carry him through the fight, and then just to give Kubrat Pulev the reward of saying that he was a tough competitor and stuff like that. And to be fair, mate, he took some big shots. You know what I mean? So fair play to Pulev. But the fight what everyone wants to see is the Fury fight against Joshua. But I think Fury just boxed his head off now. Like I was a massive fan of Joshua, but I just feel like I don't know. Like he's been inactive for a year. You know what I mean? He's had one fight in a year, and a lot of fighters think that they're Floyd Mayweather or they're earning millions. They can do that, and I just feel like it's probably not the way forward for Joshua. Joshua should probably be keeping himself busy fighting your likes of Pulev and stuff like that, and just knocking them out, and they need that activity. Because what we're going to wait another year now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to wait another year for the Fury fight, build it up, make it a big thing. But everyone's going to make loads of money. That's good. But the boxing, it might not favour him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So obviously, with the anti-Joshua Tyson Fury fight, everyone's hoping it's going to be undisputed. Something I want to get your opinion on as a former boxer yourself, and with your manager and promoter head on as well. Would you see the importance in all 4 world titles being on the line, given that there's the WBO situation with Usyk, there's the WBC with Wilder? Do you think the fight between Joshua and Fury carries enough weight behind it without the belts, or do you think it needs to be the undisputed?
I think it should. Well, I'll be honest. As a fighter, you want to get the belt. You know what I mean. But then when it gets to that stage, like it's like you fly me over Manny Pacquiao. They didn't need the belt on the line to do the undisputed 147 title. You know what I mean. We knew what it was. You know what I mean. So it's like Joshua versus Fury is 100,000,000% the fight at heavyweight. The reason being is because Wilder's already been beat by Fury. If Wilder was in the mix, then there would have been we would have to say like what are you gonna do? Flip a coin? You know what I mean? Or someone's got to have to fight that semi-final. It's like amateur. So you got to fight a semi-final, and then one's gonna get a bye to the final, and then the winner in the semi-final is gonna fight the final. So it's 2 finalists. You know the way I see it. Fury, Joshua's 2 finalists. Let's go.
Absolutely, we look forward to that. This weekend, you mentioned it earlier on, he's been sparring with Ben Rydins, Callum Smith going in with Canelo. Many people have Canelo at pound for pound #1, but Callum Smith undefeated, Ring Magazine, WBA super middleweight world champion. So he's no easy touch for anybody. How do you see that fight going, and do you believe Callum Smith can cause the upset?
You've got to believe it. You've got to believe it. I was on the England team with Callum Smith, and he's always been an exceptional fighter. He's a great fighter. He does the basics right, and sometimes I think people just think they watch a lot of Instagram, you know what I mean? Like you can see clips of Canelo doing this and doing that and doing this, you know what I mean? Making people miss, but like put the clips on where he gets caught, you know what I mean? He does get caught, you know what I mean? It's not like, and then from seeing his videos, he puts his chin up very high when he's throwing his left hook. I know no one's actually exploited that yet, but Callum Smith's 6'2", 6'3". Canelo's 5'8". And if he's putting that chin up like that and he gets a punch coming down on it, it could be game over, you know what I mean? Especially with Smith. Smith's a big super middleweight. Look, I'd love to think that Smith can knock Canelo out. I just hope he wins, you know what I mean? And I'm rooting for him, so I'm not going to say I think Canelo will win. I think Smith wins, and that's that.
Yeah, we absolutely second that. So, it's a couple of things to finish. Looking back over 2021, what do you see as like the biggest lesson you've learned from this year? Put you on the spot a bit there.
Mate, we've learnt loads of lessons. Not to lend money to people, stuff like that. There's loads of lessons, mate. I'd say, well, I don't know, mate. I'm always learning, you know what I mean? Like, there's no person in boxing who's not learning, you know what I mean? I'm not the fucking full article yet, you know what I mean? I've got to just keep going at it and look at. There's plenty to learn from in 2020, and I just feel like I'm getting better each time. So whatever, I couldn't say the lesson because there's a million lessons what I've learned, you know what I mean? But then the same is yeah, it's been a good learning year for us, you know what I mean? And I'm only 4 years, this is my 4th year into promoting. I can't really call it a full year promoting, you know what I mean? Because I've done 1 show, you know what I mean, at the start of the year, or 3 shows at the start of the year. We're that quick. We had the M22 January, then we had the amateur show for February, and then we did the Rolling the Dice in March. So yeah, I've done 3 shows this year, but I don't really want to call it a year, you know what I mean?
So then, finally, we look forward to 2021. What's the idea? What's the plan? What's the hopes for 2021?
Wow, it's massive plans, mate. You know what I mean? There's massive plans. There's big fights. There's big fights. There's different stuff I'm doing aside of boxing, which is boxing involvement, which is different areas of different fields of work in boxing. What I'm been doing. There's fights abroad. There's big, like I said, big fights to be made. There's new signings to be made. There's new areas to go to. And yeah, it's onwards and upwards for Kieran Farrell Promotions. And you know, there's a lot of people who are getting involved with me now, and you've seen them doing well and stuff like that. But it's nothing new to me. People are just seeing me or down at Matchroom or down at BT Sport and thinking that it's happening for me now. But it was happening for me anyway. Every bit of hard work I've done every time I've got up at 4 o'clock in the morning or 5:30 in the morning to get up here to come to the gym to do 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. and flat out, no breaks. This is all what it's for, and the contacts I've got, all the work I've done for people, you know, it's all going to pay off. And I'm a big believer of hard work pays off, and I've envisioned everything in my life ahead of me, and it's gonna manifest.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for your time today, Kieran. You know, it's been great year again in terms of SimBoxx getting access. You know, it's always great. I'd like to thank you for that and wish you the best for Christmas.
I just want to say I'm lucky in the final, mate.
Yeah, you know, I'll be back next time.
I'll be back.
But yeah,
Take you well, mate. Take you well.
Thanks for a lot, mate. Bye-bye.